Today I'm going to show you how I made this little bow attached to a hair clip. You can make them in any size, use different yarns, colors. They're really fun to make and super fast. And the great thing is, most of the stuff that you need for them you might already have at home. What do you need? First of all, you need the clip. I had quite a lot of those already. Really, you can change the pattern according to the clip that you already have. That's the nice thing. You will also need some yarn. This is an idea project for your scrap yarn. You will also need a knitting needle of 4.5 millimeters. You will need scissors and a darning needle too. The amount of stitches to cast on depends on the number of teeth that your clasp has. And you double that amount and then you add 2 stitches for both ends of the bow. So this clasp has 4 teeth. I'll cast on 8 plus 1 stitch on both sides, so that would be 10 stitches. And then you knit 1 row, you knit all stitches. And on the wrong side you purl all stitches. And in the 3rd row you double the amount of stitches by knitting into the front and the back of each stitch. So you knit at the front and into the back of each stitch. And on the way back you just purl all the stitches. So if I made a smaller bow, like this one for example, I followed the same steps, the same amount of stitches actually, and then I just knit stockinette all the way across the bow. Because we're going to make a wider bow, a bigger one, we're going to repeat the increase row again here. So again, you double the amount of stitches by knitting into the front and the back of each stitch. And from here on we'll just keep on knitting stockinette. So you knit on the right side and you purl on the wrong side. So once you've knit about, I'd say 20 centimeters, this is really up to you. You can check in between, you can check if you already have enough by folding a double and seeing how big your bow will become. To finish off, we'll do the same as we did with the startup at the bottom of the bow, just in reverse. So if you're on a right side, you're going to decrease the stitches in a couple of steps, and each step will be knit 2 together. So you just knit 2 stitches together as if they were 1 stitch. And then you purl the back row. And then again, decrease the stitches by half. And purl on the wrong side. Let's do another knit row. Just cast off. I'm casting off in pattern, so I'm on the wrong side, I'll cast on purling. But that's not really that important. Cut the yarn. So now that we have this length of fabric, we want to attach it to the clasp. And that's a really easy step. We'll just take the clasp and the bottom of the fabric and we'll insert the teeth into the big loops of the fabric. It's not, that important in which stitch exactly you insert the clasp. Just make sure that it's nice and even. And of course we'll do the same on the other side. Big loops. Okay, so that's how it looks. You'll take a length of yarn. So what you'll do first is you'll sew the thread against your fabric, so it's a bit tight. You can go back and forth a couple of times just to secure it. You will, from the side, you will stick your needle through the middle of your clasp, pull out through the yarn, and then you want to reach the middle of your fabric, so you put it down, and then from underneath you will, so through the middle of the fabric. It's not that important to be super neat because it's gonna be all gathered up. You'll gather one of the sides of your fabric. You go through the middle of your bow again and pull through your yarn. And then you already see that this will bunch up really nicely. And you do that a couple of times. Turn it around and we'll do the same on the other side. You've attached the middle of the bow to the top of your clasp, and you can already see that it looks really cute here, all bunched up like a little bow. And then what we'll do is we'll attach the two sides on the bottom here of the bow together. You take the very edge of your fabric, and I'm going in very close to the bottom and the top. I'm just gonna, and I'll do the same here. So now on that side you see that the bow is attached a little bit better to the clasp here on the bottom. And then I will just go through the middle to the other side, and I'll do the same on the other side. And that's it, friends.